What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to Kowloon Generic Romance, this time with episode 8, I believe it is. No, episode 7. To be honest with you guys, I really don't remember too much of what happened last week. I know we had a huge bit of exposition towards the end of the episode with someone explaining something, but like I said, it's really hard to keep track of, to be honest with you guys, when still there's no solidified facts. So, yeah, apologies, not too much for a recap today, but we have that whole kind of destroyed slash kind of virtual memory recreation of Kowloon stuff going on. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some more answers today. Do let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments though. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date. So it does look like the other version of, or the real version of the Snake guy's boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend now, I guess, good friends with our main character. That's why he's so harsh on Kujirai B. And this is maybe how she died. I think it's especially confusing because there is two versions of some characters. They've got to always state who they are whenever you see them, otherwise you've got no clue. The way he says that, and the way like it panned to that thing, maybe he's like a memory as well, just like this place. Maybe he's like a piece of nostalgia as well. Maybe he died. Who knows? Like I said, there's way too many possibilities. I mean, I think we know that he did leave this place and then came back or something, right? I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of possibilities still, so I'm not. I'm a person that really likes to theorize and try and think about possibilities and things like that, but I feel like, again, it's almost pointless in this show just because there's so many. There's so many ways it could go, so I'll try not to. But like I said, I love thinking about things a lot and figuring out mysteries. So very anti-mystery as much as it is a big mystery. I think it's again because of all these sci-fi kind of elements of the memories of this place being destroyed, but again it being like a visualization of memories or something about the doppelgangers. Like there's a lot of supernatural elements, and those elements haven't really been described yet. So not knowing the extent of which they span is, yes, you can't really think about it to the degree you want to. I mean, you could easily just assume he's talking about he just doesn't want to leave because of Kujirai B. Yeah, then maybe there's more to him saying that he can't leave. Not that he doesn't want to, he can't. Like sometimes I'm quite good with that ambiguous things. I do. Okay, I always bring this up as an example for things, but Blade Runner, the original, is quite ambiguous, and I've seen a few like David Fincher movies and David Lynch movies, should I say? Sorry. I always get those two mixed up. Yeah, and his movies are very ambiguous, but I do end up liking them because everybody takes away a different thing. This is not in that same vein, I don't think, but it's similarly ambiguous, but doesn't, yeah, it just kind of lacks that charm that he has. I mean, he's a masterpiece filmmaker, so of course that's the case, but yeah, it's kind of like it's similar but with a little bit less spice here, I guess. It's also not much like, but I feel like it might be like a little bit similar to David Cronenberg in terms of that kind of similar strangeness and not fully understanding yet there being a message you still understand even though it might not be the one someone else does. Maybe that's just the case for the show. Maybe I just can't quite see the full picture yet, and other people can. Really? Do you have any money? How are we going to treat him to this place when I don't even afford to go in there? So I'm inviting you out. You've got to pay. And I think that's given away by the fact you've got your tongue split in half. Oh yeah, there was that thing as well, wasn't there? The fact that he's got a vagina. Yeah, he's like a weird woman man, kind of biologically. It's very strange. There ever been? I imagine there has been recorded cases of like men being born with a, I don't know, or a woman being born with a, maybe. I don't really know for sure. I've never heard of it. I mean, I know of people getting those things or changing to those things, but to be actually born like this is unheard of from me. I reckon that's his double ganger. I reckon his double ganger is the more kind of feminine looking, but she has a ding dong. Like I said earlier, sometimes like some of the dialogue is just unintelligible because I'm just kind of lost. Some things just like don't resonate with me at all. Makes sense. Makes sense with the line of work. I did. Good question. Good question. It's a word we've heard a couple of times now, isn't it? You gonna answer the fucking question, bro? Are you gonna answer this question? I hope so. Because we've been through this before. Like the revenge he's going to take, is it? Interesting. So yeah, this is a very basic summary of everything we've seen so far. Like, can you answer the question and teach us something new and solid, please? Like this, the sorry to say it, but the past minute or two have just been pointless. What is a zirconian? Again, it really just feels like they just like they get to like posterior generic. But yeah, on that point, it really just feels like they creep up to like they step towards like the answer and then they just circle around it and move back. So the answer's right there, and they just they go everywhere but the answer that we want and the questions we want answered, and they just step around it. The whole scene here, I mean, it did bring up a couple of things like the revenge he wants and whatever this generic posterior is, another word that we're not going to know the full meaning to, I can almost guarantee. Just like the zirconian and such, it's just you want questions answered and you bring up more questions like this. Can we get some? It's been 16 minutes. I was hoping, I've been hoping the last few weeks that we could get some answers to some things, and for those 3 weeks I've been disappointed because it's just been 16 minutes and nothing's happened really. We're seeing like slight bits of the past. Character, I mean, the character stuff is like good. Don't get me wrong, and they're doing well with the characters. But in terms of the actual plot of this show, it's moved nowhere for a long time now. It's just had again little steps forward and then like 3 steps back. Like for this scene here, we literally just covered the general premise of what we've seen over the past 4 or 5 weeks. For what reason? It seems to just waste time, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm being very harsh on this, but it just feels massively elongated. I don't know. Just give us something. 1 week where we get something, please. Something solid to go off, not just another word you're going to give us and then we not know the meaning to, then want to know the meaning to, then you get to actually trying to tell us, and then you go around to something else. It's like it's trying to be a mystery, and there is a mystery, but it's very unsatisfying because we haven't really understood anything to do with this mystery. Insomnia. She couldn't sleep. Oh, yeah, I guess she got a bit of an eternal sleep in the end, didn't she? And she offed herself. Interesting. Interesting. She offed herself. I'm pretty sure we didn't know that. There's something. Why would she do that? She didn't seem like the type of person that would. From what we saw, she seemed very confident, very matter of fact, and yeah, she just didn't seem like a person that would do that. So yeah, we never got the zirconian question answered. Brilliant. I got angry 2 seconds after he asked that because he didn't answer it, and I knew he wasn't gonna. Yeah, that is reasonable. Pretty sure the goldfish just answered her. Made like a weird sound. Maybe Kujirai is actually the goldfish. If any guys, it's not an awfully common movie. You never hear anyone talk about it, but this might be something a bit like Sorry to Bother You, I think it's called. It's about, don't want to spoil too much, but it's about horse people. And it's really good actually. It's really strange. Yeah, maybe we've got some goldfish people here. The episode's going to end any second, isn't it? I really don't get this, man. We haven't come anywhere, plot wise, in this show. And we're more than halfway through. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe like 5 or 6 episodes left. Like, we're at the middle point of the anime. You'd think we'd be in the thick of the kind of conflict and what would usually be like the conflict or the mystery or something at this point. And this episode especially has felt a little bit like a bit of nothing to me. I feel like there's going to be another big cliffhanger though. This show seems to love their cliffhangers. Can't leave. You'll die if you leave. Fuck. Poor guy. Pranked, does he? So yeah, I mean it's reasonable to assume that she couldn't leave Kowloon. Yeah, this he just sees this as a demolished place, right? He doesn't even acknowledge her. She is like a bit of a memory, I guess. Oh, this goes with it. Kind of looks like a toilet, to be honest. But yeah, this goes with what we know. I think. I mean, not what we know, but what we theorize about this potentially, like with the whole nostalgic stuff. These being like a concentration of memories. It's fake news. The media are telling lies. It's a conspiracy. Mm. It's awfully lucky he was here, isn't it? Just so happened to buy us pizza. Well, yeah, really not impressed. Sorry, guys. It's just these past few weeks. I think I mentioned in episode 5. Like, I wanted on that episode for something solid to come. I mean, we have got this of like people. Was it last week or the week before? I think it was actually where we know that some people, the majority of people, won't actually like just see this as the dump and the destroyed Kowloon as it is. Whereas some people, the residents of this place, can actually let's see it as the old Kowloon and see these memories of people. Well, I assume it's memories of people anyway, with the whole nostalgia talk and such. So this makes sense, but it's nothing that we don't know. And that's like, other than these random phrases like the generic thing that the snake guy mentioned earlier, there's a Zirconian. Other than these random buzzword name things, we haven't actually discovered many more mysteries other than those two things, and we haven't explained anything still. Like, we had this same knowledge weeks ago, and it feels like if this was like a progress bar of knowledge we know about the mystery, it from the start of the show. I mean, it starts at 0%, then it goes at like 5 and 10, and then at that 10%, we've been hanging around that from like 10 to like 15% for what feels like 5 weeks now, and it's just like it's really not going at the pace I hoped it would. That worries me a bit because they've still got so much to explain. How are they going to be able to explain everything? These terms, mystery, everything that they're adding a lot. There's been a lot of mystery. How are they going to answer all of this? There hasn't been too much mystery brought up in these last couple episodes. It just feels like they're explaining what we know as the viewer to the characters in the series, and that makes sense. That you've got to tell the characters information and display that, but having a whole episode almost day of just replaying information that we as the audience already know to the characters is just like, it's a bit boring, isn't it? Because we already know there's not really too many revelations going on here, is there? So yeah, really not been a fan of this show for the past 4 or 5 weeks, to be honest with you guys. It's just like, maybe it's like interesting for some people because it's structured so differently, but for me it's just not structured very well, and it's just like my interest, as I said in the intro, I wasn't able to remember anything. My interest is really fading. Next week I won't be able to remember much because there's only like maybe 2 specific moments in this episode that had things worth kind of pointing out, like the whole revenge thing here with the snake guy and that new term that they mentioned about the generic stuff. And other than that, there's not really too much I picked up on here. So yeah, maybe it's a thing of, like I said earlier, maybe it's just from my perspective I see it like that. Maybe if you have a different perspective, it's actually a lot more interesting and you can figure out a little bit more. Do let me know if that is the case for you guys down in the comments. But yeah, really not been a fan the last few weeks. Do let me know what you guys thought about this episode though down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date though. Honestly, I'm not really sure if I'm going to return next week. I mean, I've already got 7 episodes in, so I probably am going to finish this, but maybe a little bit reluctantly. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next week, and have a good rest of your day.